And welcome back to BLOCKTV, where it is time for Pump or Dump, looking at the dominant news narratives of the week and trying to figure out if we agree or disagree with the agenda, whether to pump it or dump it. Get it? Yeah. So to do that, I am joined by BLOCKTV's crack team of reporters, starting with the one, the only tech maven, Oran Spitzer, the boy and the joy and the myth that is Zach Hennessy. There we go. Whitney Deal, thank God for that, regulation mama. And the man with the best German last name, Jonah Hochhauser, the man with the eye on crime. Yes, thank you. Okay, folks, let's start this. Exactly as you're sitting, round one, as you know, you have 1 minute to state your case. Then I decide who wins the round, and one day I promise you, there will be prizes. Oran.
I'm still waiting.
You're still waiting, but it's going to be a big one. You go first, and your minute begins with Ton latest versus Fed anti-stablecoins. Take it.
Right. So last week we reported on the latest on the Telegram Open Network. They responded to the allegations against them by the SEC. And lawyer Stephen Paley actually commented on that thread, created his own thread at, Crypto Lawyer. We all know him. And this is what he wrote, just to kind of give you an idea. This is part of the thread. So in the first tweet here, he wrote, they filed an answer like defendants typically do, unless they move to dismiss or just don't show up. And then in the other one, he explained it's Rule 12 of the Federal Rule of Civil Procedure, and not exactly mundane, but actually, pretty mundane stuff. Basically, Stephen Paley is telling us that we're dropping it. So, bye.
Yeah.
Now,
why are you making such a big deal out of it?
Yes. New news, the Fed, the United States Federal Reserve, has now taken an anti-stablecoin stance. This new report claims that it can cause, stablecoins can cause financial instability, which is a bad play on words there, especially if poorly created. This echoes a report by the G7 a couple of months ago, or a month ago rather, that said the exact same thing. We still don't know why. They're just like catastrophe.
I want to hear what Zachy thinks about it.
Shucks,
Yeah, because he was about to fall asleep, but you had me.
No, I was yawning because I was thinking
Exactly.
really hard.
Yeah.
I think that
Ton
is a really relevant player in the crypto sphere and in space. I think especially as direct competition to Libra. It's kind of the thing that's nipping at the heels of Libra and getting them going. So to drop them entirely, I feel like
I said drop the latest.
Well, sure,
Drop
but the
Ton
latest is what are we going to talk about when Ton started? You got to be talking about the latest news with Ton in order to be aware of what they're doing
But why
and keep
invent
it
news?
Going. Shoot, don't invent news.
I'm going to side with Oran. I think she's exactly right. I really like she did her research. She found a credible expert on the case, and the guy said, hey, this isn't news. This is not newsworthy. Let's drop it. And kudos to you, Oran, for excellent.
Mundane, he called it, guys.
There we
Mundane.
go. You did the work, and it paid off. I think you win this round, although I don't make the decisions here. I do not make the decisions here.
You're out.
No, I love it. It was the most condescending thing one could say. Please, Whitney.
Okay, so Ton, might be mundane, but then what about these Fed anti-stable coins? What makes that any different from any other day that they're like, oh no, sorry, it's
nobody's talking about it. Well, right, but because nobody's talking about it.
But everybody's
That's exactly my
everybody
point.
knows that the Fed is full of shit.
Okay.
Yes. And with that,
I got
we get a beep.
the
Zachy
lovely
loses
last
this
word.
round.
No.
But there we go. That he picks up the glove yet again. Now with the following, which is, I cannot believe you're dissing Little Bubble. I'm like horrified.
No, don't spoil it.
Okay, no. Little Bubble versus BWA.
Yeah. Okay, you ready?
Deine Minute beginnt now.
Okay.
There you go.
Here's the deal. Lil Bubble, huge fan. I loved him. He was kind of the biggest thing on my radar for the longest time. And he is great. He is extremely talented, and he stood me up. And at Asia Block Show, I sent Asher Westrip Evans, our senior correspondent, with an envelope of materials that he was to sign. Lil Bubble did not sign those materials. In fact, did not even rendezvous with our very own Asher Westrip Evans. So instead of talking about Lil Bubble and how cool he is and how good at music he is and how I would like to be him, then we are instead going to talk about BWA, who did a really bad song, and we're going to listen to that instead.
It's so bad.
That is so bad. Who is that?
Wait for the rap.
related?
Wait for the rap. Wait.
But is it crypto related?
Yeah. It's so bad.
Wait.
The rap is on.
I feel like I've got a gun pointed to my head. 24 words later, pull the trigger, now I'm dead. I can't blow out the red candles. I'm losing the battle, I can't handle fighting whales, bears and jackals.
Okay. Folks, shoot
What's
him
the
down.
line? What's
Shoot
the
him out.
line
First
with
of
the
all,
You sound angry.
first of all, Zachy,
Yeah.
there's no crying in baseball.
We ain't playing baseball. This is Bitcoin, baby.
Did anybody get that reference? For the love of God, thank you. Okay,
that
Whitney,
another
Whitney to the
league?
rescue.
Is that with Tom Hanks, the League of Their Own?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
I got it.
No crying in baseball, fine. But really?
Yeah,
Really?
and I think that, I'm totally willing to start this beef, and I think that, Lil Bubble can do a little bit of, he needs to do a little bit of lip work if he wants,
This
back
is
on
us
the
to the
good
camera.
side.
Little Bubble, if you're listening, if you're hearing this. Zachy boy here was really upset, and you need some loving.
Yeah.
There you go, Zach.
Hop into my DMs, buddy.
hope
I always love you.
I do think, for those who haven't heard the entire BWA video or
Yes.
seen it,
Seek it out. Listen, give them the views because they need to. First of all, they put a lot of effort into the video. Like the editing quality is great and all, but like shucks, you just gotta work a little harder on the music end, huh?
it's so
Make it
bad
a
and it's
little-
entertaining. It's so bad, it's enjoyable to watch.
But I love it. It's kind of like, they're playing off the early 2000s where you always have a chick sing and somebody's rapping. And it's a formula.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
fine.
don't do it
Just
this
do
way.
Fine. Oran wins this one. Now, moving ahead, because you didn't say a word.
Yeah.
Moving ahead to Whitney. Whitney, Regulation Mama, with IRS and Bitcoin ATMs versus Andrew Yang 2020, right?
Yes.
Yes, your minute
So-
begins now.
Everybody knows how much I love the IRS because they're just so wonderful. So they're reporting, there were reports that came out that they're looking into Bitcoin ATMs, mainly in the US, of course, because they're worried that they're not following AML and KYC procedures, and basically it just boils down to the fact that they're worried that they're losing out on money. Next.
Yes.
Now we have Andrew Yang. Okay. I don't care about his naysayers. There's been like a lot of trolls on the internet. They're like anti him giving you money.
And remind people, Andrew Yang, contender,
Yes.
Democratic contender.
Yes, sorry. Democratic contender for 2020. Please God. Anyway, and he wants the U.S. to lead in crypto and blockchain space, which I think is really great. He wants to have initiatives that define what a token is, what the token when it's a token and when it's a security, clarify tax implications. He wants to adopt it. He wants to implement it in voting. He wants the U.S. to be ahead.
He literally tweets out, "I want to give you all money."
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I don't believe
Although
for a
if
second.
you check the replies of that
I'm okay
tweet,
with that.
which I did, it does say you should. One guy, crypto Twitter, so everybody's a smart ass, but they were like, you should specify that you want to give people fiat, okay?
Oh.
So he was like, all right,
But that's
yeah,
what I mean with the
fucking-
trolls. It's like,
I think his
Yeah.
campaign manager is excellent.
Yeah.
Free money
He
is
crowd
it
surfed
works.
at one
he
of his,
was
things,
he went from zero to hero real freaking quick. So somebody's doing their job. Is all I'm saying.
even not in the crypto space, I think he's.
Johnny, you're awfully quiet about this Andrew Yang fellow.
No, I'm very happy. I mean, I think anyone who's pushing for America to step up its game in the blockchain sphere is someone who has my backing. I'm not familiar with his political views, but his view on blockchain and crypto, I agree. You cannot let China run away with it because if China controls it, at a certain point, there's a tipping point and it's out of your hands. There's nothing you can do about it. America's got to step up.
Show of hands. Hey! We gotta make America great again. you know?
Ah!
Show of hands. Who thinks Andrew Yang has a chance?
Unfortunately, no.
I hope so.
Okay.
I was quiet with little bubble.
No,
Quiet
but
now.
Yona, it is up to you
I have
now.
a
Wait,
sign
we're
channel.
moving the baton along. And it's up to you now, first round. Bitcoin waste versus Bitcoin gain.
Yes, sir.
Your minute begins now.
I like to be mysterious with my taglines. Bitcoin waste. So there was a recent report saying how the Bitcoin network now utilizes 0.25% or 0.25% of the entire world's electricity. And a lot of naysayers of Bitcoin point to it saying, hey, look at this. This is the biggest waste of electricity. We're wasting all these resources on this thing that doesn't even have value. It's not real. What are we doing here? And we're only making the state of our world environment, saving the earth.
We're killing the
We're
environment.
killing the environment is a lot of what people are saying. I want to take the other side. I think that it's actually quite the opposite because the way that the proof of work system like Bitcoin is structured is that the more on purpose, it's built and programmed to use a lot of electricity because that's what keeps it safe. Now, what about the environment? You're saying that it's wasting all this electricity. Well, part of the incentive of a miner is to find the lowest electricity cost, which is by reusable energy sources, next to hydro plants, next to places that already have extra electricity that isn't being used.
Okay. Didn't
Here's
we
a
get
cue.
that?
All right,
Yeah.
0.25% of the power. That's huge that it's even on the map. That's a significant chunk of a significant chunk, right?
Yes,
1% in mind blowing if you're at that level of power consumption. 25% of that still of that 1% still a lot. Now, big counterpoint. How much electricity is going towards like FIFA servers? Because that shit's garbage, but people are still using it. You know?
TVs are a way higher percentage than Bitcoin Network.
Not only that, one can make a choice at the end of the day if the entire world decided to go reusable energy. Apple, for example, has already flipped entirely to green energy. They use a shitload of servers per people, okay? I mean, they use a lot of power.
It's economically viable. It's becoming more and more economically viable.
This is, well, I think the point is it's solvable. Okay, I win. Round 2. Now, going to round 2, back to Iran. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, Iran. Here we go. Backed volume versus exchange bankruptcy new ICO. Interesting. Your minute begins now.
So everybody keeps talking about how Backed was meant to take off and it didn't, and everybody's very upset that the volume is very low.
Because nobody has patience, but okay.
Well, so right. So that's my point. So last week the news was that now they're going into, so they started off with physically settled Bitcoin, which was like the big deal, but now they're really going backwards, some would say, in what CME is doing. It's fiat settled, and so, you know, they're going into the more mainstream way of doing things, perhaps with the goal of, you know, raising volume, which they've begun doing anyway. So we can scratch that. They will one day be okay. They're going to be fine.
Stop
anyway.
hating on back. What?
Right. So exchange bankruptcy is the new ICO. So BN Crypto reported that cryptocurrency exchange bankruptcies are this new concept. They are actually the new ICO boom. Why? Not only bankruptcies, but also just mismanagement in general. The most immediate exchange, obviously, that comes to mind, Quadriga CX famously went broke. CoinExchange.io also, because of crypto winter, closed its door. We're currently amidst this like major shakeup, it feels like, but nobody's talking about it. Exchanges keep popping up.
So essentially, the
That's all I had.
gang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would say,
They're like, good point.
I would actually argue that it's not necessarily a bad thing, because as long as the strong survive, as long as the exchanges that are managed well survive, and as long as there are many options, and there are plenty of exchanges out there. Trust me, go into CoinGecko, who is powered by BLOCKTV and powers us as well. CoinGecko.com. You're able to see a list of exchanges. There are so many exchanges. I wish that the shitty ones, the ones that rip you off, the ones that are shitty, I hope they die, and the ones that are good improve and survive.
I know, but the bankruptcy
No, he proved my point. That's exactly the ICO.
I'm with you.
Yes,
we're taking the same page.
Okay, we're going to move along. Zaki, proof point, and sadly, Yona, I guess this round is yours. But that said, Zaki, you're up with 2019 crypto memes versus 2020 crypto memes. I want to see where this one's heading. Your minute begins now.
Let me ask you a simple question. Are we going to keep focusing on these stale memes? Nope. That's my little, I prepared that prop. Anyways, so listen, we've got to talk memes because they're kind of like a driving force of sentiment behind movement in the Bitcoin sphere. It's been proven by me with no scientific research, but it's an important part of everything, and I'm on Twitter all the time, so please start posting more memes, because otherwise I have to find old pomp tweets and dig them up. Anyway, so 2019 had a lot of great memes. There was a poll recently that went out from, I think, BTC Chris, who posted, what was the best Bitcoin meme of 2019? And far and away, over 6.15 Bitcoin, Boomer Bucks, and other stacking sats far and away was the most popular meme of 2019. So you have to start thinking and start speculating, what are the memes of 2020 going to be like? Stop talking about these old memes, they're stale. And you got to start thinking, how am I going to contribute to the meme sphere in 2020? And what can we all do to kind of...
First of all, I think this is genius because Zaki's essentially trying to stack up his Suck My Blockchain for 2020.
Yeah, come on, guys. Make my work easier, huh?
Make your work easier. But first of all, memes, it's a good point. Memes, there are many people, you're not the first one. There are those who claim there are not enough memes in the sphere or in the world because that's the only thing that grabs what are they called? The young people.
The youngins.
It's the young ones. It's the young
Those
ones.
the
Youngins
youngies.
attention.
There's not
If you
even
ain't got the
Zs.
Bitcoin
Yeah.
guy doing a dab, then nobody's paying attention anymore.
There you go.
I think that you say a good point. It's always good to look forward to the future, but there's one thing you're missing,
Okay.
and that's according to Pierre Richard, stacking sats is the only thing that matters in the entire world, and it
is.
fixes all ailments, wars, and poverty.
As according to Pierre
Really?
Richard,
It's
stacking
true, that is
stats
what Pierre Richard
quote
would say.
unquote the strongest form of political protest. So if all the people in Hong Kong stopped doing what they were doing and just
just
stacked
me?
sats,
No,
they'd be
stack-
fine.
Ah,
Yeah, as long as they just continued to
Stack 'em.
stack those
Stack 'em.
delicious
yeah,
sats.
right. They'd be phenomenal. That said, isn't a meme, slightly, a form of communication that doesn't really leave you much room for context?
No, it gives plenty of room for context because it's the iteration, You got to reiterate it every time, Otherwise, it's just a stale. It just gets boring. It's
and
just an old movie quote.
Entirely. The art of bullshit. You win. There you go. No, but
I got to sneeze. If I
please.
sneeze, I'm sorry.
No, I think you can. Everybody, moment of silence.
No, it went away.
Okay.
Disappointing.
Disappointing.
That was a disappointment.
Entirely.
Sorry.
No, we built it for the audience and we crashed it down. Whitney, you have to lift it up for all of us with FinCEN and AML versus local bitcoins gets Finland.
Oh, no pressure, because this is just so riveting.
Okay, your minute begins now.
FinCEN and
Speak really
AML.
slowly.
Okay. FinCEN Director Kenneth Blanco announced that AML laws will be strictly enforced, and companies engaged in money service businesses will have to comply with AML laws. Again, this is nothing new. I just don't understand why this keeps coming up on the headlines. There's no news. Exactly, fine. Whatever. Anyway, I'm tired.
Because of the travel law, guys. Anyway, keep going.
But still, it's whatever.
It's called mental masturbation.
It's a delay tactic.
Yes.
Anyway, local Bitcoin gets Finland. They have become they've become an officially registered virtual currency provider in the country by the Finnish Financial Services Authority, or FinFSA.
Oh, close to
FinFSA?
FinCEN.
FinFSA.
Okay.
All right, which means that they fully met legal requirements. They proved to the Finns that it had credible AML and KYC procedures and can adequately safeguard customer information. And damn it.
Okay. So if I'm reading you, if local bitcoins can do it in a country with one of the most highly regarded financial systems, why can't the United States seem to be pleased with anything?
Exactly.
Quoting Whitney Deal here.
Well,
Please.
This is like a sidetrack off, but what's really cool to me is the only reason we all know local bitcoins is because of Venezuela. They were like
Right.
the exchange that reached the all-time high. They were able to get people there buying, and so what's really cool here is they were like the anarchical exchange for people, and now they're officially becoming registered.
Registered in a very, very official place like Finland.
Right. So there's some sort of shift going on there, whether it's the anarchists aren't providing them enough funds, or
You think?
and so they need to be, they need to be a bit more legit now, or for some other reason. But that was like very mind-boggling when you see local bitcoins on something so official. It's a bit odd.
AML.
It's a shift that
But
just
how-
happened out of no reason, out of nowhere.
But how anarchical do you think it could be? Because think of like all the turmoil that was going on in Venezuela, and those people really needed help. They needed a way to pay for
And
goods.
they actually
No, but
they
even still, you
provided
don't need to
order in the
require.
chaos, one could
but
argue.
that's the thing, is that you to actually go, like back then you didn't need to comply with very much. Like, here, take my money, give me some Bitcoin, and that's how you moved on. So I'm saying in that sense, this means that they're complying with AML and KYC. So
Right, which is like
that's
a very
that's a
big-
shift.
It
for
is a
them.
shift.
Yeah.
It's like they're selling out to the man.
Yes, it is exactly like they're selling out
Folks,
to the man.
let me just conclude this, that the system is beaten from within the system.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. You'll get it in 10 years. Now, moving along to Jona Hochhauser with ATM fraud versus cash fraud.
Yes, I'm kind of.
1 minute, your minute begins now.
Oh, there you go. Spoke too soon. I'm dumping the same thing that Whitney dumped at first, which is the whole IRS trying to crack down on crypto and Bitcoin ATMs. They're trying to say that, listen, any Joe Schmo or any nefarious actor could walk up to one of these Bitcoin ATMs, provide supposedly dirty cash, and without giving any ID or identification, and receive clean Bitcoin. They're trying to say that crypto ATMs are being used for money laundering, for cleaning, for all types of nefarious uses. I'm calling bullshit. You know why? What's their big complaint here? They're saying that, hey, the person who receives the Bitcoin, we're not sure who it is. You know what else? The people who came with the cash, they also didn't know who it was. It's not the Bitcoin that's not allowing them to know the ID. If anything, Bitcoin's a public distributed ledger. So if Bitcoin is able to be tracked the same way a couple of weeks ago. The world's largest child pornography site was shut down because authorities tracked Bitcoin. Authorities, it's way tougher to track cash. Stop with this bullshit. Bitcoin is good, cash is dead.
Which makes you wonder,
Yes.
why the hell would Pornhub just kill anything? Whatever. But that said, what do you think?
Yo, well made point there, pal.
I just
Hats
want
off to
one.
you.
I just want like one regulator or one person within the financial services industry in any way, shape, or form to just say, "Hey, we know that cash is an issue for us in identifying, consumers." Just say it out
I know.
loud.
I think
just
the
one
question
time.
is, why is Yona Hochhauser the only one calling bullshit on this? Why aren't more people calling bullshit on this?
And I think the answer I'm about to give also answers Whitney's last question, her thing of why is everyone still talking about FinCEN, not liking crypto, who cares? Because at the end of the day, it comes down to who has anything to lose. Right now, America wields tremendous power, not just militarily, but on the world financial system, because essentially the world currency right now and for many years has been the US dollar. And that's why the US government is afraid, and FinCEN's afraid, and the Treasury's afraid, and the Fed's afraid, because the US dollar is one of the biggest reasons why America has power. And if Bitcoin takes off, not necessarily that criminals are going to be able to control the world. No, it just means that America will have less power. The American government will have less power to control the world. That's why America is against Bitcoin, not because of any reason. Don't believe the FUD, baby.
Got him.
And also, side point, most crypto ATMs are compliant with AML and KYC laws. It's an ATM, so
Have
it's
you
a stupid
seen-
point.
I'm keeping quiet. I'm
you
about to
seen
vote him into
The
office.
classic 1984 film Goonies, starring
course, my
Sean
God.
Astin
Of course.
as Mikey. So
course.
there was a clip that
Not
we
to be
showed while
confused
he
with
was
Rudy
talking.
later on in his career.
It had one of these Bitcoin ATMs. He's sticking his whole hand into it. Makes me feel like the part where it clamps on his hand. And yeah, look at this. He's sticking his whole dang hand in it.
There we go.
Fucking
There
big
we
ass
go.
boulder's gonna come and smash his hand. All his little friends, mouth and all, and Chunk and all. No, Chunk wasn't down there with him.
No,
I
no,
understand.
Chunk
He was
wasn't
up, upstairs.
Okay.
Fuck.
I do not know. Thank you. How did we go to no?
Can I make a surprise announcement?
Wait, one last statement by the man running for president. Yes.
So president, not president. You were close. We were actually not going to announce this till later after the primaries.
Right.
But Andrew Yang will announce that I will be his running mate for president. I'll be vice president. To Andrew Yang's president. I am an American citizen. Vote for me. And
we've
Andrew
just
Yang
been
president.
sued. I don't know by who.
But we've just been sued. I want to thank you all, okay, for this incredibly enlightening rendition of Pump or Dump. Little Bubble, you suck. Okay. That was us.
Pop his bubble, baby.
Exactly. Block TV. We'll be right back. Nope.
For more news and updates, follow us on Twitter.